Veteran Trash Talk, we actually vet our sponsors. We don't just take their money and run like a Butterbar lieutenant lost on a land nav course. Are you finally ready to plant your flag and claim your territory? Maybe it's time to use that VA loan to buy a home. Or hell, maybe you're looking to refinance and put some extra cash in your pocket for more questionable life decisions. Either way, the Veterans Mortgage Source, powered by Canopy Mortgage, has your six. Look, buying a home or refinancing can feel like getting overrun on a bad op. Chaotic, confusing, and full of obstacles that make no damn sense. That's where Corey and his team come in. They're like the QRF of home loans, ready to pull you out of the chaos and guide you to the best program for you. And trust me, they'll answer all your questions. Yeah, even the dumb ones. Whether you're a salty vet or fresh out of barracks still trying to figure out where your TA-50 went. Great service, solid rates, and a team that actually understands the military life. That's why all of us here at Veteran Trash Talk trust them to do right by every veteran in their family. Ready to lock it in? Give Corey a call or shoot him a text at 808-699-7874. That's 808-699-7874. Don't wait. Unless you like overpaying and getting treated like an FNG. The Veterans Mortgage Source is powered by Canopy Mortgage, LLC. All loans are subject to credit and property approval.
Hey, what's up, Mental Health Nation? Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Man, do I have some fantastic news. Super exciting night. But I didn't set up my green screen. I'm sorry. But hey, look behind me. I'm in my new house here in Italy. So super excited about that. I don't know why I just went blurry. I don't know why I'm blurry. There we go. Now I'm coming back. Let me clean my camera a little bit. Maybe that'll help. Hey, there we go. So we did make it into our new home in La Patria. Super excited about that. You know, just the stressful of moving, and anybody who has moved knows how stressful it is. And I'll get into that a little bit later and how to deal with your mental health when you're going through a move, because you know a lot of families are PCSing now, as it is the primary permanent change of station for a lot of military members out there. But hey, before I jump into that, say hi, Bull. Hello. Bull's back. Got him back in the room now. So he's excited to be back. But I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Got some great news about Lloyd. I'll talk about that, what went on today. But before I jump into all that, let's go around the horn real quick. So you got Reads Across America. You can scan that QR code. You can ensure to donate money to ensure that the wreaths are placed and to memorialize the veterans on the holiday season. Super easy to do. Like I said, just scan that QR code for $10, $15. Or any donations they take. They always have, they're always asking for donations. But along with that, Reach Across America Radio replays my podcast at Fridays at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 10 p.m. Super easy to find. If you have the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, or the Odyssey app, you just search for Reese, and then you'll be able to find Reach Across America Radio for not this great podcast, but all of them. But if you don't have those apps on your phone, it's super easy too. Just download the Reads Across America Radio app, and then you can zoom right in. I did download it here in Italy, and it worked just fine. So go out and give them a look. See, hey, we got 10th Mountain Whiskey out there. You know, I talk about them all the time. I actually have the little cordial boxes right here, my little shelf. See, right here, 10th Mountain Whiskey. Oh, yeah, look at that. And this one here is the very famous, and what the Italians love out here, Get the light out of it. Zoom it in a little bit. This is their cordial, and this is so good. Sage infused peach vanilla. They love this out here. Really good. So the gremlin kept stealing my whiskey. I guess when I moved, he went away there. But hey, give 10th Mountain Whiskey a look. You will not be disappointed. Along with that, I got their. Let's see, what else did I get? They have these little bottles now. So their bourbon here is really good. Yummy, yummy bourbon. Like the bourbon. Yeah, I wanted to see the other one that I like. Oh yeah, here it is. No, that's not it. This is it. There we go. All right, here we go. Look at that. And this is the whiskey rye. Now this, my friends, is my favorite bourbon, and this bourbon is really, really good. If you haven't ordered any, you need to order some. Go to 10thmountainwhiskey.com. Use code VTT to save you about 10%, I think, on your order. If you listen to the video before the podcast started, you have Veterans Mortgage powered by Canopy Mortgage. Interest rates are coming down, so it might be a good idea to use that VA loan or refinance your house and get a low interest rate. I remember years ago, my interest rate was at 6%, and I refinanced down to, I think, 2.75%. This is 6 years ago, but it dropped my payment like $1,800 a month. So you can save a lot of money by refinancing. And so take a look at that. Or maybe you have questions about your VA loan. You don't have to have a loan with them. They'll help you out. And if you are a veteran out there and you're not using your VA benefits or your VA home loan, you need to start using it. You're entitled to it. Come on, what's your problem? Don't be scared. They'll help you out with any questions you have. But hey, PCS Paradise, if you're still active duty military and you're being stationed out in Hawaii, give them a look-see. They'll be more than happy to find your dream home while you're out there in Hawaii and enjoying the good life. Like I said early on, Bull is back. Hi, Bull. How you been doing? Bull's been doing fine, I've been told. He's been on a little vacation, and he's back joining with me. So, as I said early on, I am here in Lago Patria. We did make the move from support site, which is about 20 kilometers from here. And boy, the move was stressful. So, last Thursday, was our move day, and the movers showed up right on time. They were Italian movers at 8 o'clock in the morning, which for Italians, that's pretty good because usually they don't show up on time. Well, the move was supposed to take 2 days, and so they start, and they decide they're going to bring in another truck, and they're going to move everything in 1 day. Pros and cons to that. They were going to load the truck, move stuff to the house, unload it, and then go back get more, which would have given me about 30, 40 minutes to say, hey, put this here, here, and here. Would have made the unpacking a lot easier. Crystal would have stayed there, and I would have stayed here in Lago Patria, and we would have done that. But however, since they brought in the extra trucks, they decided to load everything up and then come to here to Lago Patria all at once. And you can imagine what a mess that was. So then when Crystal got the estimate for the move, and it's not our fault, right? We have a pretty little narrow driveway to get to our house here, and their big truck wouldn't fit down it. It's not my fault. It's your fault. You assumed that you knew the roads in Lago Patria because you move people here all the time, I guess, but you chose not to come find out, so it's not my fault. So then they had to go and take the truck at a different location, load it into a smaller truck, and then bring the stuff to the house. And so now we got 2 teams running here, and I'm trying to direct traffic, saying, hey, put this here, this goes here, this goes here. And then if I wasn't outside for whatever reason, they would just put stuff in the garage, in the boxes. And so I'm finding out now that got, as I am packing stuff, is, stuff that was supposed to be in one part of the house, they just shoved it in the garage, which is fine. But Thursday night, we were exhausted. We were tired. Moving is stressful. Whether you're moving in 1 day or just down the street or you're PCSing across the country, it's stressful. It's always stressful. It's stressful leading up to it, and it's stressful when it's happening. And, one thing that I try not to do is argue and fight with the family in the stressful situation, right? We're all tired. We're all stressed. And the weekend before we moved, we were in Fano at the tournament, if you guys remember. So Lloyd had a 4.5 hour ride away. We were in Fano for the weekend from Thursday until Monday with his baseball tournament. And so we get back Monday. And then Thursday's move day. So we really didn't have a lot of time to prepare. And on top of that, of course, we had a meeting with the landlords, and that kind of turned into a thing. And then that got straightened out, but that was because the realtor and there's some misconceptions about stuff. That got straightened out finally, and then we got the keys to the place, and then we were able to tell the movers that yes, we are going to move, everything's fine. And then I had to do a tour the night before. So kudos to Vita. We've been very busy lately, which thank God. But I had to do a tour. So instead of spending that Wednesday getting things ready, I had to spend that time doing a tour, which I'm always happy to do tours, me and Pepe. And then get home late Wednesday night and then try to prepare what I can. And oh, by the way, we had the podcast, right? So I didn't go to bed till 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I'm back up at 7 for the movers to come and start moving us. And so they get us all moved to one day, and everything in the house is just a freaking mess. And so I get the bedroom set up as best as I could. And if anybody knows anything about me, you guys know that I have ADHD with my TBI injury. So as you can imagine, my brain's on tilt, right? And I have a hard time relaxing until the house is all put together. And so I was up on Thursday night, up very late, unpacking boxes, breaking down boxes, sorting things, putting things away. And so I just continued to work till I just got completely exhausted, wind up breaking one of my favorite glasses, and that's when I stopped. Went to bed and got up at 5 o'clock the next morning and started, I just do room by room. But the problem is that all the stuff that was supposed to be in that room isn't. It's in the garage. And so I had to dig through the garage to try to find stuff that went into the room. And that's very stressful. It's very tiring. The wife, she had to go to work. Lloyd, is doing baseball practice now 3 days a week. And, you try not to fight with each other. You try not to argue, but it's going to happen. And you argue and fight over the stupidest thing. I mean, like the most idiotic thing because you're tired, you argue and fight over it. And I try not to do that. But now the house is about 90% put together. I just had the basement and the garage left. And so excited about that. We do need to go buy some TVs because obviously our TVs won't work. And I'm not going to do the inverter thing and deal with all that crap. I'll just go buy new TVs. They're not that expensive. And we'll get the game room set up. Now, by the way, the game room is going to be awesome when it's done. Me and Lloyd's really got a plan together for that. And the spare bedroom that we have downstairs is really big. It's going to have 2 recliners in there and its own dresser. And it's going to be a nice setup for when people come and visit. So it's coming together. It's nice. I have not been able to swim in the pool yet. I did put my feet in it. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow I'll have time. But Lloyd and I in the morning is going to go to the gym and work out because I need to work out. And I haven't been able to run or do anything because I've been so focused on the house, but that's about done. But I am running. I did buy the Starlink, so I'm running on Starlink tonight. It seems to be working pretty good. We had a little bit of a hiccup when we started. I'm still getting my Wi-Fi adapters hooked up, my extenders, and I have one coming in for the outside. And so once that comes, I'll be able to get it set up perfectly. But so far, the easy installation. If you use Starlink, what do you think about it? So far, mine's been great. I mean, I got it set up on the second balcony. There's no obstructions. Very easy to set up. Took like 10 minutes, and I was up and running live. But now, since things in the house have calmed down, I've been running the wires. But I think I lost weight. I look a little skinnier. But I've been stressed, right? So stress has a lot of effects on your body. And I've been really stressed out. And, and to boot, it's been really hot here. This time in Italy, it's hot. It's hot. And then you got the most annoying things in the world. If it's not the mosquitoes, it's the flies. So if you're walking outside, no matter what time of the day, I remember growing up in Missouri and being in Virginia that the mosquitoes usually came out in the evenings. Here, the mosquitoes, the little biting devils, they're out all the time. And so you have to always be cognizant of the mosquitoes. Now, one thing we found out that works very well is we buy peppermint essential oil and you put it on your wrist, and your elbows and rub it on your neck and stuff. But that wears off about a couple hours and then they start dinging you again. And they're vicious. So, you deal with that and then with the heat and everything. And then I'm doing airport runs early in the morning because we have families PCSing. I started doing that with Kudos to Vita to help them out because I know it's a stressful time. So just a lot going on. And so so I haven't been able to work out, haven't been able to run, don't have my gaming system hooked up. So, what have I been doing to help my mental health? What have I been doing to help, me from not, having my PTSD flare up or having anger issues or all that other stuff? And really, for me, it's just been working hard and getting the rooms done and having them organized. And then when I'm done for the night, I just sit down and relax. Of course, I don't have a TV, so I watch something on my phone or just, zone out and have a drink just to kind of relax or listen to music and talk with friends. But, those are the things that I've been doing since I've been able to work out. Now, tomorrow that'll change because I'll go to the gym. But as you break down boxes, I want to get them out of the house, and so I load up the van and take it back to the sports site to drop off the box. I think I've made 4 trips now. I filled the van up with boxes, but it's stressful, and then I have to deal with Lloyd's stress. So I need to get his room organized, which we did work on that because you go. Even though we were on the support site, we had bigger closets and more storage. And if anybody's ever lived in a house or been in a house in Italy, they don't do closets like we do in the States. They don't do storage spaces. So you have to kind of come up with some ingenious ideas on how to store your stuff. Now, one things we did is today I bought a bunch of plastic clear totes so then I could stack things on each other inside the closets and then on top of it so then you can see what it is and then you can take it down. But I am happy with the kitchen. The kitchen's big, kitchen's nice. I'll be able to cook a lot of food. The stove's a little small. The cooktop is. The sink's small. Reminds me of my sink in my RV. But that's okay. And then one thing about Italy, what you learn here is when you don't live on base, is electricity is very expensive. And so after 8 p.m., the electricity drops way down. And so I wonder if that's why Italians always eat late. Because you don't want to cook or do anything until after 8 p.m. because that's when electricity is cheapest. And that's when you turn down your AC units. That's when you do all these things. But you don't want to run or do much during the day. And so, like, we do laundry at night now. Well, on base, we didn't have to worry about that, right? It's a little bit different. How you separate things there or that there. But then here, every day they got trash pickup. I think, except for Sunday. So every day is something different. It's plastic and paper or organic or something, which is nice. A little bit better than what it was at sports site. But we had the big dumpsters at sports sites. We get those stuff away. So we're learning that system. But yeah, the house is nice. I will say that the villa is nice. I can go up on the second floor and see the ocean. I can smell the ocean. I love that. And I'm able to relax. I'm actually sleeping really good here. I think as stressed as out that I've been, and as much as I've been going through lately with the move and everything, and Lloyd's baseball and all that other stuff, um, I think because my sleep's been good, I think that's really helped a lot. Um, Hang on a second. I got the baseball team texting me like crazy, blowing my phone up. I'll tell them I'll talk to them later. So I think sleep for me has really been helpful. And if you're going through a really stressful time and you can't do the things you normally could do or you normally do for your stress, I think for me, one thing that's helped me a lot is I've been able to sleep well. And I'm not too sure why. Maybe it's because I'm exhausted. But I think one thing that's really helped me the most in this time frame of what I've been going through is the fact that I've been sleeping well. And I sleep between 5 and 7 hours a night, and that's normal for me. Everybody sleeps differently. But also too, during the day when I get tired, I just take a nap, and I try not to force myself to stay awake. And that's one thing I've been doing. Like today, I knew it was gonna be a long day with Lloyd, and I'll get into that in a second. And so I was able to lay down. I took about a 30-minute nap. I never take long naps, but I feel a lot more rested. Of course, I knew I had a podcast tonight, and I want to be rested up for you guys to hopefully give you all good pointers out there. Because, also in dealing with the move and everything, and if you work outside, you're dealing with the heat. It's hot outside and it's humid, and you have to deal with that. And I don't know why it is that people's tempers get so short when it's hot outside. Do you ever notice that? Even when you're traveling or even when you're on vacation, people get all worked up over stuff. Why would you get worked up on vacation? I don't understand that. Yeah, but anyway. Had a little incident happen to me the other day getting on base. Um, and yeah, I just don't like when people smart off to me still. I'm still that person. So I'm standing in line with Pepe to get his badge, and we parked the car. Of course, Pepe's handicapped, and this guy parked illegally, and he was of foreign descent, and he got out of the car and pretty much yelled at me, effing American or something like that. And I'm not the person for that. And standing right there in front of the security guard, I said, "What is your effing problem?" And he said something about parking. I said, "You're parked illegally, not me. What's your effing problem?" Then I smarted off to him, and then he turned around, and then Pepe wanted to know what was going on. And I was telling Pepe, this idiot doesn't know how to park, and apparently he's having a bad day. I mean, I'm talking loud enough you can hear him because I don't really care. And he didn't say another word. And then he kind of glared at me and walked off. And I was like, "What? You want something? You got a problem still? You're leaving now. Goodbye. Go. Shoot." And then he left. People can just be stupid. Probably shouldn't have handled that better, but it's just one of those days, right? I was moving. Now we're doing the tour. I just not gonna put up with stupidity, and I don't apologize for that. I'm not gonna put up with it. He escalated the situation by mouthing off right off the bat. I don't think he was expecting me to have the response that I gave him. I think he was just saying or assuming that I wouldn't say anything. But anybody that knows me knows I'm not that person. So he got earful whether he wanted it or not, which was kind of stupid fun to do anyway because we're right in front of the security gate. We're right in front of where you get your badges. So the people heard him mouthing off. So whatever. But and they heard me too. So oh well, it'll be all right. So if you're going through a very stressful time, the heat's bothering you, if work's being a pain in your butt, and things aren't working out, uh, just take the extra time not to try to lose your temper like I did. And I really didn't lose my temper. I just wanted to let him know that I wasn't going to tolerate him speaking to me that way. Right? It says, you treat a baby with dignity and respect until they don't deserve that. And then you treat them accordingly. So, but, try to deal with your stress in a positive manner. Try to deal with whatever turmoil you're going in a positive manner. I made a posting today. I posted a picture of a bridge I took when I was in Virginia. And I said, every mental health journey begins with the first step, right? And it's not really a step as in you're walking. It could be the first step in saying, hey, I'm going to decide today that I'm going to get better. Hey, I'm going to decide today that maybe instead of having 5 drinks tonight, I'm going to have 4 drinks. Or it's maybe, hey, I'm going to stop negatively talking about myself. That was a big thing that Bruce Lee always talked about is you should never talk negative about yourself, and you should always talk more positive about yourself. And it's easy to do, right? I've done that before. I've talked negative to myself before. I try not to do that anymore. I think it's very important not to do that. And I think the more positive mindset you can have is good. And I think one of the things, too, man, helping me sleep better, and I haven't talked about this for a long time, but, in the military, we had the master resiliency training if you were in the service. And one of the things they talked about was hunt the good stuff. And, basically the premise is at night when you lay down, you're kind of relaxing to go to sleep. Think about 3 good things that happened that day because it really resets your mind in a more positive manner. You sleep better. And so I've been doing that. And so as I'm laying in bed and my mind's going 90 miles an hour and I'm thinking about, okay, what's my plan tomorrow? What room am I going to work on? What am I going to do? Do I have to do tours? Do I have airport runs? And start writing my schedule down. And then after I work through that through my brain and I'm laying there, then I start thinking about the good things that I did today. You know what? I had a really good day because today when I got out of bed, I was able to get the spare bedroom done. And then I was able to, I got that done. And I got Lloyd's bathroom organized. And then I moved downstairs. I got the office all set up so I could do the podcast tonight. I got the Starlink moved and wired up more correctly than what it was before. So I got a lot of positive things done today. And then I'm going to talk about this in a minute towards the end of the podcast. I really try to think about those positive things before I go to bed. And so tonight when I go to bed, I'll think about those things. And then tonight, Lloyd had baseball practice. But it wasn't a really practice. They were having a team competition. And um, on the team competition, let me pull up the flyer here. I got to make a video for them too. They had me take a bunch of photos. I'll do all that tomorrow. I'm not doing it tonight. But so on the team competition, it's kind of like not the year end thing, but whatever they call this because they got a tournament on 25th. But we know one of the ones was the fastest from home base to second. It's like an all-star game, right? And then it was, the fastest to run around the bases. And then it was who can be more accurate as a catcher to throw to second. And then it was who could throw the ball the farthest. He could throw the ball from second to home the best. And so they had this, the whole team with the smaller kids, and then and Lloyd's team was there. And of course, at the end of it, just like in All Star games, they have the home run derby. And so Lloyd, he didn't do all the events because he would have won all of them. The longest throw one he didn't win today when he did it, but that's because he threw the ball 2 feet behind the line. Had he ran up to the line, he would have won that, but he got second. And I get that, right? Lloyd, if you saw Lloyd, and he's my son, and I'm bragging about him, but if you saw him on the field, you'd be like, "There's no way that kid's 11." It's just he is just that good, and his coaches have really enhanced his play, and that makes me feel good as a father. But he's really doing awesome, and so they did the fastest bases from. So what they do is they start behind home plate. The coach blows a whistle, and as soon as their foot hits the home plate, the time starts, and then they run around the bases, first, second, third, home. Lloyd gets up. Of course, he chucks around the bases. He's the fastest on the team by far. And I kind of timed him, but I think he ran around the bases in less than 11 seconds. So that's fast. So he did that. And then they had the longest throw competition. He did that. He came in second on that. But then at the end, it was a home run derby. Now, if anybody's been listening to me with Lloyd playing baseball, he got drafted by the Caserta team. But when he played for SAC on support side, the seasons were very short. And the coaches were just volunteers, so they wasn't like coaches. I mean, some of them could have been, but I mean, his was just, dad's volunteer to help out, which is great. But on the Caserta team, Coach Pedro is from Cuba, and he coached teams in Cuba, and he was a very good baseball player, good himself. Played for the Cuban national team. And you guys know anything about Cuba, they rock at baseball. So they've really been working with Lloyd, but Lloyd hasn't missed a practice. There's some kids that, only show up for games, but Lloyd's been to every single practice. He's never missed a practice. Even at the Fano, where they played 6 games over a span of 3 days, that next Monday he was at practice. And because other kids went there, the coach was able to work with him. So Lloyd's gotten really good at batting now, and he's very strong, got a fast swing. So now we're at the home run derby, and the kids are hitting, and they're doing the last bit of kids. And of course, the 4 best hitters, which Lloyd is now one of the best hitters, they kind of put them at last because the coaches kind of know. And so this was the first round they get up. The one kid, Rafael, he hit 2 home runs, hit about every pitch. They did 6 pitches. He hit 2 home runs. And then Gabby gets up. He hit 3 home runs. And then the other American, August, gets up. He hits 3 home runs. And then Lloyd gets up, and Lloyd hits 3 home runs out of 6 pitches. And so now they're having the second runoff. And so in that runoff, they only did 5 pitches. Well, each one of them hit 2 home runs. And so now they're into the final period. And so August didn't hit a home run on the second go around. Gabby didn't hit a home run on the second go around. Lloyd gets up, and he had a foul tip, missed a ball. And on the last pitch, I mean, he just knocked the dog crap out of it. I mean, this ball went probably 25 yards past the home run thing. I mean, when you listen to it on video, it just ting. And so he won the home run competition. So really proud of him for that. And he was really excited. And you could tell that he was really amped up because as he's standing there waiting to bat, the kid's like jumping 3 feet off the ground. up in the air trying to get his energy out before he gets up to the bat. But one thing I notice about Lloyd when he bats, and if you watch him very, very close, I know when he's going to hit the ball. He kind of has a little bit of a tilt. When he's going to hit that ball, you just watch him, and he just grips that bat and turns his hands ever so slightly. The second he does that, you know he's going to hit a home run. I mean, it's very subtle, but every single time he's done that, he's hit a home run. And the coach is really proud of him because 3 weeks ago, Lloyd couldn't hit a ball. I mean, he went through all of Fano tournament. He threw guys out from the outfield. He played really well, but he didn't hit the. Now he walked a lot, but he got hit a couple of times. But he couldn't hit the ball. And then all of a sudden, they were working with him, and on the last game of the Fano tournament, Lloyd hit 3 home runs. And so ever since then, he's been knocking the dog crap out of the ball because it clicked in his brain. And so he's been very happy about that and very excited. But one thing I like about this competition is everybody that was there. I wouldn't say they got a medal for being on the team and being there, but in the competition itself, only the kids that did in the top 3 got a certificate. And so if you were first, second, or third, you got a certificate. Not everybody got a certificate. Everybody got a medal. And so Lloyd got 2 certificates because he was the fastest around the base. And then, of course, he was the home run derby league champion. And so that was very nice. It was very good to see him do that. He's very excited about it. And, that's going to be a win for me to lay down and sleep. But I love when Lloyd gets competitive, right? And anybody who's played competitive sports, whether it's jujitsu, or you played football in school, or wrestling like I did, or played baseball. If you're in any type of organized sports, you know that how you get that, right? I love competition. I love competing. And I was so ramped up like Wood was, and I wasn't even on the field with him. But when he was chucking around those bases, he was booking about. He takes about 4 steps in between each base before he's hitting that base. He's got really long legs. But hey, I'm super proud of him. It's really good to see him mature. His coaches are amazing coaches, and they have played, for the Italian national baseball team. Some of his coaches too, along with Pedro, who played for the Cuban team. And so it's been an outstanding day. It's been a really good day, and so I feel good about tonight. I think I'm going to finish my beer, finish this podcast up, and relax. I'm going to look at the photos I took because each time the team gave the award to each one of the kids, I took the photos. Because they know that I can do pretty good videos with it. And so I'm going to probably sit down tomorrow and make videos for them. But, that's just one of the good things. So no matter what's going on in your life, whether things are going bad, or maybe you're just starting that journey for your mental health recovery, embrace the good days. I used to get so paranoid when I would have a very good day or something was going very good. And that's because I was waiting for the bad to happen. I don't know why I always thought that way, but I did. You guys like that? You know what I'm talking about? And how do you get yourself out of that way of thinking? It's taken me a while to get out of that. We're thinking, today's a good day and everything's going right, but I'm waiting for the ball to drop tomorrow. And it's like I almost wished it into existence, right? Because I kept thinking about it, and I just knew it was going to happen. And this was going to go on, and this is the universe punishing me for having a good day. I used to think that. And how stupid is that? And it took me a while to break that habit. I'm not going to lie to you. And actually, happiness brought me pain. And how stupid is that? But you guys know what I'm talking about. When your life's been crappy for so long, and then all of a sudden it gets good, does that not freak you out, stress you out even more? It used to stress me out a lot. Instead of just saying, hey, maybe Cliff Bauman deserves a good day. Maybe Lloyd deserves a good day. Everybody deserves a good day. And so when you have a good day, don't make it a bad day by wishing bad things because you're having a good day. Embrace the good day and know that you deserved it. We've been moving. We've had a lot of stress. And Lloyd had a great day. Lloyd's had great practices. And I told Lloyd, I said, listen, August is a good baseball player, but he's not a great baseball player. Why? Because he never goes to practice. Lloyd's never missed a practice. And I was talking with August's dad tonight, and I said, yeah, Lloyd didn't miss practice. I mean, even after the final, Monday, Lloyd's at practice. And, because kids hadn't showed up to practice, it was slow, so the coaches were able to work on the kids that did show up, their weaknesses they saw during the tournament. And so if a kid, couldn't get a ground ball, they were helping him with that. If they had a problem catching pop flies, he worked with that. With Lloyd, they were working on his batting and his swing. They really want Lloyd to learn how to pitch, and so they were teaching Lloyd how to throw the ball properly because he was never taught how to throw the ball properly. So they're working on that. But you guys know as well as I do, you're not going to get any better if you don't practice. And it's the same thing with your mental health and your recovery. If you don't practice those good techniques that you've been taught or you should do, how's that again? How your recovery is going to go if you don't do it? If you don't practice it, if you don't focus on it, just like with wrestling. I mean, by the time wrestling season started, it's too late to start practicing. You should have started practicing the second to last season ended, right? That's how I did. I always started training then. And same with Lloyd. He never goes to practice. They're 2.5 hours. It's 95 degrees outside, 92 degrees, and he's out there running around practicing. But I've noticed too that in 3 weeks he's become the best player on the team, and they're a very good baseball team. Don't kid yourself. These kids play year round here, and these kids have been playing on this team for a while. And so for Lloyd to step in and be able to step up and do that, kudos to him. But also the other kids who like Lloyd that don't miss practice, you see their game improving. And so it just goes to stand to reason. If your kids are in organized sports or if you're working on your recovery, don't skip steps. Don't not do the things you're supposed to be doing because it's not gonna help you with your recovery. Lloyd wouldn't have improved the way he did in baseball had he not always gone to practice. And he's not always wanted to go to practice. Dad's made him go to practice a couple of times because he was tired. But just like I told Lloyd, it's easy to do things when you're not tired or when everything's going right. It's hard to do things when things aren't. But that's when you really need to be doing it, right? That's the difference between motivation and dedication, right? And Lloyd, I told Lloyd tonight, I said, look, you are a better baseball player because even though you were tired and you were moving and were staying up late and you wasn't really resting, you still went to practice. And if you can operate and function in that realm, just like in life, you'll be able to function and operate. And so if you're going through mental health recovery and there's things that you're supposed to be doing, just like Lloyd going to practice, you're not going to get better if you don't do them. And you need to start doing them. I had an interview the other day with an organization that I will probably have them come on the podcast. I don't know if they'll choose me to be their keynote speaker or not, but that's fine. And we were talking about gambling and what the effects gambling is having on not only active duty members, but also veterans and how easy it is to gamble nowadays. And so I think I want to get them on the show to talk about that. But if you're going through recovery and you're doing things that your therapist tells you to do that you're supposed to be doing, you're not doing it, then don't be upset with yourself if you're not recovering as fast as you think you are, if you're not making those goals, or if you're not making those gates, because it's just like in baseball practice, you can't expect to play good in a game if you're not practicing, and you can't expect for your journey to continue and your journey to be positive if you're not doing those things to make it journey positive and as smooth as can be. I get it. There can be hiccups. There can be setbacks. They can be anything. Yes, Brian, it's absolutely consistency is important. And when that little thought in my head pops in that, oh my God, you had such a good day, what bad's going to happen? I just let it go out. I don't even entertain that idea anymore because it's a stupid thought to have and it stresses you out over idiotic things. And just let it go. Just let it go. I mean, like, hey, you got bull back here. But just let it go. So Lloyd got 2 certificates. I sent them to Chris, but I'm not going to have him show them. I'll show them next week. With his home run derby and the other one. So super proud of him. He did a great job. And afterwards, we went to Burger King. Before you say anything, if you come and visit Italy, not so much Germany, but Italy. If you come to Italy, at least once, have lunch either at McDonald's or Burger King. Now, the Italians will eat at Burger King more than at McDonald's. I didn't know this. They like Burger King better. So because it's Burger King right when we leave the baseball field, and we have to drive 20 minutes back. But I'm going to end with this. It tastes, if you're as old as I am, it tastes like McDonald's did when I was a kid, or Burger King did when I was a kid. Because here in Italy, they only use fresh ingredients. They use nothing go mold. They don't use all that crap. The potatoes have two ingredients: salt and potatoes. Go figure. The bread's fresh. Anyway, you need to try the fast food when you come here. At least McDonald's and or Burger King one time. Yeah, you'll be surprised. Even the chicken nuggets, they look like chicken nuggets. It's pretty amazing. But hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. It was a great to see you. I've had a great day. I hope you out there are also having a great day today. And if you're not having a great day today, it's okay. Because you know what? The sun's going to come up tomorrow, and it's a new day. And because of that new day, you can choose to make it a positive day. It's your choice. And if the universe is trying to make things a little hokey for you, don't let it. Just keep fighting it. Fight every single day of your life. But hey, with that, you got Reason Across America. You can scan that QR code for a little, I don't remember how much money, $15, $20. You can donate a wreath. It's great with what they do and how they memorialize the veterans during the holiday season by placing those wreaths on the tombstones, and then also they pick them up. You can volunteer for them to help. You can donate money to help. They have many fundraisers going on. But the most important thing you can do is support Reason Across America Radio. Yes, Reason Across America does have a radio station. They replay my podcast Fridays at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 10 p.m., but it's super easy to find. They made it so easy right now. You just download the Reason Across America radio app, and then you can catch all the great music and all the great podcasts they have. They do so many things for veterans out there. Super proud to be part of them. Download that app. But if you already have the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, or the Odyssey app, it's okay. You don't have to download the Reason Across America app too. You can just search for Read, and Reason Across America Radio will come up, and you can watch them that way. Not quite as good as the app, so maybe you should think about getting the app. Hey, I showed my 10th Mountain Whiskey. A little boxes back there, little cordials I bought because it's easy to share with my Italian friends. Give them a look-see. You will not be disappointed with their bourbon. It is so good. As a matter of fact, I might have to play Gremlin tonight and drink one of these bad boys. This is the whiskey. This is the rye whiskey. I might just have to make this disappear. But hey, getting a look, see, they have really great bourbon. They have great cordial. I showed that earlier with the sage infused peach vanilla. It's amazing. I mix it with my bourbon. I will mix it with my bourbon. Yep, I do. I did. It's good though. Try it. Order it. Use VTT. Save 10%. Yeah, Veterans Mortgage, powered by Canopy Mortgage. Screw that QR code. They did have their video on before the podcast started. They'll answer any of your questions for your VA loan. What percent? Here's a good question. What percent do I need to be and not be charged for the VA funding fee if you use your VA loan? I don't remember. I'm 100%, so I didn't have to pay it. I remember when I wasn't 100% and I had to pay it, and it sucked butt. But I don't have to pay it now. But maybe you got questions. Maybe you want to take a second out. Maybe you want to buy your first home. Maybe you want to use that VA loan for the first time. Scan that QR code. You'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. And if you still active duty and you've had the really bad luck, the horrible, terrible luck of being stationed in Hawaii, and you just don't know where to go, you don't know where to live, you don't know where to put kids in school, hey, PCS Paradise will help you out. Scan that QR code. You'll be more than happy to help you. But hey, I'm happy to be here in Lago Patria. I'm happy to be in the new house, the new villa, the new Bauman Villa here in Italy. Still loving living in Italy. I love it every minute of it. I love the fact that Crew Dolce Vita's being busy now, helping out a lot of families in a stressful time in their life to get them to the airport. I'm really surprised the base doesn't have a shuttle. That really surprised me. I'm not glad they don't, but I'm really surprised they don't. But that's okay. I help out the families to get them. The most bags I put in my bag last week was 21. I fit 21 bags in my van. Could you imagine being a family of 3 with 2 dogs, dragging 21 bags off the base? Because the Italians can't drive on base. Most of the moving companies can't come on base to try to get a ride to go to the airport because the base doesn't supply it. Don't have to worry about that now. Crew Vita will come pick you up right at the hotel or at your house. Done that. And so it's really nice to be able to provide that service for people. I'm super happy about it. But hey, with that, you guys have a great and wonderful week. Just a reminder that we are brothers and sisters keepers out there. So if somebody's having a bad week or they just had things not go right, it happens, right? Coworker calls in sick, maybe get a flat tire. I don't know. Maybe the boss is just riding your butt for something stupid. I'd just let it go. Just let it go. It'll be all right. But hey, let's look out for each other. And so if you got that buddy or friend that went quiet, pick up the phone, give them a call, shoot them a text, message them on social media, see how they're doing. And if you're a veteran and you're talking to another veteran friend, give him a rest of crap about it. Tease him about it. Because that's what we do best, right? We veterans, we love to give ourselves a hard time and tease each other. But you guys have a great, wonderful week. We'll see you next Wednesday live from Lago Patria. You guys take care, and we'll see you next week.